I'm alive. Welcome back for another stream, everyone. It's the Gameweek30 deadline and we're just under an hour away. And then sadly, after this Gameweek, it is the international break. So are you all looking forward to having a break, or are you going to miss the football? I think I'm going to miss it, but it'd be nice to take a couple of weeks off. So the next deadline stream after this one will be in 2 weeks and 1 day. But I'm off to Madeira with the family over the break, so the content's probably going to dry up as far as I'm concerned, but I've got a couple of videos in mind that I want to try and put out before I go. Thank you so much, everyone for tuning into the stream so far. We've got Mike in the chat, Ibrahim, Tim, Nishant, Giga, Chad, Delia, Harry Holiday, the Hipster, Hazim, Bashnu, Giga, Chad, Ayush. Ayush asks, who is Rafinha? Good question. Actually, I think the right question is Rafinha going to play tonight or not, which we'll get to on this stream, because there's been some conflicting reports today on his availability. I'm very well, thank you, Hipster. Not too bad. I'm going out tonight, so I've got a beer next to me here for the stream, so I thought I'd pre-drink on the stream, kill two birds with one stone, so to speak. So I still need to make my moves. I haven't actually made my transfers yet, but my planned moves are Broja and Salah to Barnes and Kane, and then Kane's going to be my captain, not Broja, obviously. So it's not ideal. It's a -4, and it does mean I'm only going to have 10 men. But I think I cover the key players. You know, Kane, Son, Kulusevski, etc. Got the Arsenal triple up, so I think I'll be all right. It might be another red arrow. I can't remember the last time I had a green arrow, to be honest with you. That's what's most surprising to me. I'm 642nd, which is obviously you know, never in a million years thought I'd be as high as this by Gameweek30. But that's off the back of about 7 reds in a row, so I suppose I'll take it. Linus asks, would you have Trent on a wild card? Bought for 7.5. We'll have both Cancelo and Robert also. That's why I'm thinking about not going with Trent. I hope he misses the Watford game and then buy back after City. Only have 2 defenders this week if I have Trent. I think if I was on a wild card, I would still have Trent, to be honest with you, because you're going to massively regret it come Gameweek 31 if you know, it's one of those international break injuries where a player's injured, unavailable to play for their country. You know, it's not important games for England, so it could be one of those. It might not be an actual injury, and we've seen it time and time again during international breaks, and it could be the same again with Trent now. So for that reason, if I was on a wild card, I'd still have Trent, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he plays the Watford game. In fact, I would say he's more likely to play it than not to, based on previous international breaks. Andreas asks, are any of the Wolves wing-backs good choices on a free hit? Yeah, actually, I would say Johnny. If I was on a free hit, I'd have Johnny. I don't think I'd have Aït-Nouri. I think he's too much of a risk. But I think Johnny's an excellent pick. I think the Wolves double up is definitely viable. I did post a free hit video earlier this week. I only had 1 Wolves defender on that draft, but with the rumours that Rafinha is going to miss this game week, I would say it adds to the appeal of the double up, and I think it's very viable. Afternoon, Matt. How you doing, mate? Max says, has anything changed from the free hit guide video? I would say a double up in Wolves defence is okay now. You could swap Sarr in for Schmeichel. I had Schmeichel in goal. But other than that, no, I think it's the same. I think I'd still double up with Barnes and Maddison. I think they're both great picks for this week. I'm going to be bringing in Barnes, but I was really on the fence of which way to go. But for some of you might know Sam Martin, he's kind of a Leicester in the know. And he said his pick between the two is Barnes, and Barnes is more likely to start, whereas due to how Rodgers has changed the Leicester tactics recently, there's more of a chance of Maddison being dropped than Barnes. However, his predicted lineup did have both of them starting, so I think you can't go wrong with Barnes or Maddison this week. Loads to talk about. We've got the news roundup, we've got the Kings of the Gameweek scout selection, the most transferred players. We'll look at the predicted points. We'll talk about the double Gameweek in 31 right after the international break, double Gameweek 33, and loads more. But let's start off with the news roundup. We'll start with Liverpool. So we talked about Trent already, but obviously he's withdrawn from the England squad with a hamstring injury that will keep him out for weeks, says Klopp. How many weeks? We don't know right now. It's pretty vague. It could just be 2 weeks and then he's back for Gameweek 31. Wouldn't surprise me at all if that's the case. You know, Liverpool have a real shot of winning the title, so I think it wouldn't be at all surprising if he's pulling a Ferguson, who was well renowned for these international break injuries, and then they were back immediately after the break was over. Some Leicester news. Soyuncu should be back. Daka, he said, I don't think he'd be available for the weekend. Evans is close and Castagna should be back. The Daka injury here also says he doesn't think he'd be available for the weekend. I would say that's good news for Barnes and those looking to bring in Barnes. So I thought I'd highlight that one because I'm one of those myself. Bit of Villa news. Luca Digne will miss this game week. He's nursing a hamstring injury and he will be assessed by France. He's got an outside chance of making their second game. I really sympathise for people that picked up Digne over cash because I would have done the exact same if that was a move on the table for me. And as it happened, it was something like a 43-point swing over the space of 3 game weeks. So really annoying that, especially because Villa played this game week. And I squeezed this one just before, while we were doing the intro for the stream. I noticed that Hwang has been declared fit for the home clash tonight against Leeds. Whether or not he does start or not, it might still be Jimenez. He was withdrawn with an injury last game, so we'll have to see. But the other player who's a doubt for the game tonight is Rafinha. And I won't go through this whole trail, but there's been all sorts going on today with Rafinha. There was a few posts on the Leeds forum that says he's got COVID, and then there were a few Twitter accounts with a huge following that said no, that's not the case, he's with the squad. And then there were more reports literally within the last hour or so that says he's going to miss the game with COVID. So it's one of those where you haven't got anything concrete, so we'll have to see. But not ideal. I would say if you're on a free hit, I think I would leave Rafinha out. Is the summary there. I don't know if I would transfer him out unless you had no other moves to make. Obviously, Leeds likely to blank in 33. Oliver says, hi Oscar from Macedonia. Weghorst, Kane, Son and Barnes. Weghorst, Kane, Son and Barnes. Are you asking which one's the better duo? I mean, the second one both plays this game week, and then Barnes have a double in 33. But it does leave you exposed without Kane. So I think I would actually lean towards the first option because you have to think longer term, obviously, of FPL. And Gameweek 31, Burnley have a double. It's not the best double, but they do have a double. And then Burnley have Norwich in 32, and then they have another double in 33. So I would say the Weghorst-Kane combo. Yeah, there's really few strikers to choose from this week, but I think Kane could end up a season keeper, so I think I would go for him. If I was on a free hit, I think the other 2 strikers I'd probably have are Lacazette and Jimenez. Skeet says, free hit Gameweek 30 or should I save? It totally depends on your team, to be honest, Skeet. How many players you can field, whether you've got Kane or not, whether you can get to Kane. In my case, I can field 10 and I can drop Salah to accommodate Kane, so it's a no from me. I've got a free hit. But it's totally team dependent, so I would just look at how many players you can field and if you can cover the key assets, because I think there's a lot of upside saving the free hit for a double. Delia, thank you for the £10. She says, would you bench Ramsdale or Sarr this game week? Lovely meeting your FPL meet. Let's hope we finally get some well-deserved green arrows. Hopefully, Delia, appreciate that. Yeah, me and Delia were heading the same way home, so I paid for an Uber to Euston Station, so I appreciate that, Delia. What was the question? Would you bench Ramsdale or Sarr this game week? Really tricky one, that. I think I would bench Ramsdale just about, but it's a bit of a coin toss, that one. Yeah, it was lovely to meet you too. Annoyingly, I'm going to miss the next one, but I hope to make more FPL meetups in the future because they're a good laugh. Marty says, Bowen to Barnes or Martinelli. I will free hit in 33. I would say Barnes between the two. I like the Barnes pick more. To be fair, Arsenal and Leicester both likely to double in 33, but I think Barnes just edges it there. FPL Diamond, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Callum says, let's go Leeds. I think I'm caught up on chat. We'll take a quick look at the Kings of the game week. And it was Matip who joined the Kings of all the players in Game Week 29. Who do you guys reckon is going to be the king for Game Week 30? We do have a channel on our Discord server where you can get your guesses in, and then the winner gets a role on the server. Nothing too fancy, just a coloured username. But if you haven't got your guess, then do that. If you want to join the Discord, links in the description. So who's going to be the king? I can't remember who I picked now. It was it Jimenez? Forget who my pick was now. But yeah, there's a lot less to pick from this game week. Much smaller player pool size. But yeah, it was Matip of all the players. Can you believe it? I think he's the last player you'd expect from that Liverpool back four to join the Kings. So let's take a look at the scout selection. Interesting selection this week. I'll just read it out. They've got Sarr in goal, Back three is Cash, Saiss, Doherty. Midfield is Son, Coutinho, Maddison and Saka. And then the front three is Kane, Lacazette and Tony. What do you guys think of the draft? I don't know if I'd have Tony. I think I would have Jimenez ahead of Tony. Just about. And I think I'd also have the Barnes-Maddison double up over Coutinho. I'm surprised they picked up Cash. Obviously Cash is absolutely flying recently, but it's some overperformance. Oh, was it Iheanacho has him? That's right, yeah, because obviously Vardy's out and Daka's a doubt. So I went Iheanacho. He's another one actually, on the subject of strikers, that you could definitely justify as a third striker on a free hit. Kane and Lacazette I think would be my first two, and then the third striker spot you could go Jimenez or Iheanacho or Tony. A few good options there. Vicky says Gordon or DCL hold. I think I'd be tempted to hold because they've got the double in 31 straight after the break. So yeah, if I had them I'd hold. I'm looking to bring in Gordon myself in 31. Abdallah says, but Tony had penalties. Yeah, this is very true. So obviously Tony's got 5 goals in his last 2 games, which is, I imagine he's the highest scorer over the last 2 game weeks. But 3 of those were penalties. So he's second in the league for expected goals over those 2 games. But he's 15th when you exclude penalties for expected goals. So penalties certainly a factor there, but perhaps there is an Eriksen effect that's been boosting Tony's numbers as of late. We'll see. Too early to say about Eriksen, but it'd be great if he becomes an option again. So tag me in a photo, guys, wherever you're watching from around the world. I'll retweet it. I'd love to see where you guys are watching from. So take a photo, tag me on Twitter. I'll definitely retweet it. James says, is Maddison fit? Yeah, he's fit. I imagine he starts as well. Came off the bench last night in the Europa Conference League game. So I would imagine that he's good to go for this one. Rocciano says, Dean is a Thomas. Tricky one, Thomas. Yeah, I imagine he does start, but I don't know if he can be trusted longer term. I read that Castagna is back. I think Castagna's played down the left before. I don't know what Bertrand's status is, but yeah, I'd say Thomas should be good for this one. Justin also has played down the left, actually, so it's a little bit risky. Rowan says, when will you bring Salah back in? So my plan is to bring him straight back in Gameweek 31. So the plan is Salah and Broja to Barnes and Kane. And then in Gameweek 31, in fact, I'll show you guys on Plan FPL. Don't know if you guys have seen this site, planfpl.com. There's loads of good sites now for planning your team, but this is my favourite one at the moment because it's got so many great features. But you can just choose what your team is going to look like in a future game week. So for example, if I go Barnes. Oh, that's lagging. My PC's struggling. And then it was Broja to Kane. So that gets me 10 for this week. And then Game Week 31, I would go Son to Salah. And then I'd probably do Rafinha to Gordon. Something like that. So that gets me a decent lineup for 31. It gives me Gordon and Weghorst to double. I get Salah back in, who I'd probably captain. I'd ignore the double game players. So something like that. So that's planfpl.com. Really cool site if you want to check it out. Been working with the guy loads. I'm not in any way affiliated, but he's been asking me for feedback, and everything I've suggested he's implemented literally immediately. So respect for that, for how reactive he is. Good to see. Romain says James Justin or Fofana. Between the two, I'd say Justin, but it's hard to trust any of the Leicester defenders. Fofana did come back into the starting 11 last night, but he could be eased back in. Not sure if he starts or not. It could be Soyuncu and Amati centre-back pairing, so we'll see. Can you guys hear the music? I think I cocked up the volume a little bit, so I was trying to fiddle with it without you guys hearing. You might hear this. There we go. Hopefully the music's loud enough. Thank you so much everyone who has tuned in so far. We've got 1,700 watching. If you are enjoying the stream and everything I've prepared for it so far, please do hit like. It really supports the stream more than you believe. Sound like Pep. More than you believe. If anything, like the stream for the Pep impression. AB says Ruben Neves or Podence. I would say Podence. between the two. He's the attacking player. Ruben certainly isn't. Ibrahim says Kulusevski or Saka for captain. I'd say neither, but it depends if you own Son or Kane. I would rate them over either of those. If I had to pick between those two, I think I'd go Saka. I imagine Kulusevski is going to be the first player sacrificed in the attack if it's not working out for Spurs, so that puts me off him a bit. Saka a bit more reliable for minutes. Right, let's have a look at the most transferred players heading into Gameweek 30, which are as follows. Most transferred in is actually Tony. This is, as of 5 minutes ago, this data, 400,000 have brought in Tony. Is Tony a trap? What do you guys think? Or is he a genuine option? Pappy says do another impression. I'm not very good at impressions. I can do a good Scottish accent. Yeah, Tony's the most transferred in. Second is Cody with 245,000 bringing him in. Kane's third, 238,000 brought him in. Kulusevski's up there. Maddison. Interestingly, Maddison's brought him significantly more than Barnes, even though Barnes has been the more informed player as of late. Saka's up there. Son, Cash, Jimenez. No surprises here. It doesn't make the list here, but I saw Ronaldo had been brought in by about 25,000 managers. Obviously, they saw his hat-trick and brought him in, but good luck to them because Ronaldo blanks. Most transferred out, Bowen is top. 357,000 have transferred out Bowen. No surprises here, really. Really annoying because I had him and he would kind of set me on a path that would have given me 11 players this game week, but obviously got that injury, so I had to move him on last game week for Kulusevski and abandon my other transfer plans. To be fair, that worked out, so not bad at all. Salah's second on the most transferred out. He could even see a price drop over the break, maybe even tonight. Dennis up there as well. Trent, Broja, Cancelo. No surprises here. These do, of course, factor in the free hit transfers as well, which do play a part here. Who's everyone going for captain? Anyone not got Kane? I imagine Kane's going to be the most captain. We will have a look on this stream at the captain poll results. So if you haven't voted on the poll on our Discord, make sure you go do that. Link in the description to the Discord. I am King says, what is your team? This is my team. I'm going to make 2 moves on this stream, which will be Salah and Broja out for Barnes and Kane. And then Kane will be my captain, not Broja. Dimitar, thank you so much for becoming an fplfocal member as well. Focalite, or whatever we call it. Focal family. No, that's cringe. Focalite. If anyone's interested, members do get early access to videos, and there's a private channel on the Discord server where I give team feedback. Unlimited team feedback. How about that? And it supports the channel, obviously, as well, so I'm very, very thankful for that. So thank you, Dimitar. Appreciate that, mate. We've got Will NE in the chat as well. How you doing, Will? Good to see you, mate. What happened? You've panicked and ended up with Bamford. Come on, Will. We were talking about your moves. How's that happened? I can't remember what I suggested now when we were chatting about your moves, but you've ended up with Bamford, have you? I don't know if he's even going to play tonight. Have you locked it in already, Will? You've already brought in Bamford. I'm sure I read he might not be in the squad, but maybe I'm thinking of Gelhardt or something. Anyway, thanks for swinging by, Will. Good to have you here, mate. Aponator says Martinelli or Saka on a free hit. It'd have to be Saka. Obviously, with the return of Smith Rowe, I would say, again, Martinelli could be the first one sacrificed if Arteta's making a sub. Smith Rowe coming on. Smith Rowe's too good to warm the bench for too long. Martinelli did obviously play midweek as well. Smith Rowe was on the bench, so... Will says, but the Trent injury. Oh, what have you done? Have you brought out Trent as well? We were just talking about Trent at the start of the stream and how it might not be a real injury. It could be one of those international break injuries, which we've seen time and time again. Ferguson was infamous for it. He used to always have players injured when, obviously, the title race was on. And we've seen Klopp doing it plenty as well. I don't know if that's what's happened here. We'll have to see. Let's take a look at the predicted points anyway for Gameweek 30, which are as follows. So top is Kane with 6 predicted points. I'm not seeing Bamford up here, Will. I'll be honest, mate. Son's second with 5.8 predicted points. Jimenez and Lacazette tied on 4.5 predicted points. Tony Barnes, Reguilon and Maddison all tied on 4.2. Really tricky one, Barnes or Maddison. I was really on the fence about it, and I ended up going for Barnes, or I will be on this stream. I need to make my transfers. Remind me if I forget to make my transfers. It'll be my worst nightmare. But yeah, Barnes, he played the full 90 last night in the Europa Conference League. In fact, it was more than the 90. He played 98 because there was quite a lot of stoppage time as well. Whereas Maddison came off the bench in the 60th minute, so you'd say Maddison's fresher. And last time they played in the Europa Conference League, the same thing happened there. Maddison came off the bench and then started on the weekend. So tricky one between the two. I think Barnes just about edges it. And as we were saying earlier, Sam Martin's a Leicester in the know. You may know him, he leaks the Leicester lineup. He doesn't have the Leicester lineup yet because it's obviously too early. They play on Sunday, so he wouldn't have that lineup yet. But he thinks Barnes starts. He also thinks Maddison starts as well. But he said he's going to be getting Barnes, and he thinks he's the better pick between the two. Camera says, are you calling Ferguson a liar? In a way, yeah. I don't think all of those injuries and then the players were magically back after the international break were real. Let's be honest. I think he was infamous for it, right? He had a bit of a reputation of players getting injured, and he'd rule them out of international duties, and then he would be straight. They'd be straight back as soon as the international break was over, playing in the next game. And it happened countless times, too many times to be a coincidence, surely. Beatty, how you doing, mate? He says, thoughts on this move? Salah to Martinelli, Gameweek 30. Ramsey to Salah in Gameweek 31, or just roll. I have 8 players, including Rafinha. Salah to Martinelli, and then Ramsey to Salah. No, I don't think it's worth it, mate. I would roll. Those 2 transfers are going to be invaluable in 31, because you have the option to bring in a double Gameweek 31 player, which we'll talk about in a second. Not many good options there. It's too messy. The only way I could think you could justify selling Salah this week is if it's to accommodate Kane, which is what I'm doing. I don't think it's worth it to bring in a player like Martinelli and then bring Salah straight back in. I would roll the transfer, and you'll be thankful come Gameweek 31 to have those 2 banked. Obviously, 8 playing, it's not ideal. There's going to be a lot of people in the same situation as you. Maybe you'll actually have an upper hand over a lot of them taking hits. So it could be a red arrow, but you have to think longer term. You'll gain more with that roll transfer. James says, should I free hit? I was planning on bringing in 2 Spurs defenders and save the free hit. You've chucked in a link here as well. Didn't know this was a thing. Let's have a look. How do I get this on screen? Move that over there. I don't know how easily I'll be able to do these FPL team reviews like this. Let's see. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 playing. You were planning to bring in 2 Spurs defenders to save the free hit. I think you've got 9, so you're okay. Just bring in 1 Spurs defender, if anything. Drop Thiago Silva. I would probably not spend a second transfer with that team. I think that looks fine to me. You've got Kane, who presumably is your captain. Thiago Silva to Doherty or Reguilon. That's what I would do. And that gives you 10, right? Did I count that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 with a Spurs defender. Yeah, I would do that, mate. I don't think you need to free hit. Certainly don't need to free hit. I would just make 1 move. I don't think you even need to make 2 moves. Mikhail says, free hit worth it. Still got both my free hits. If only 8 players, no Rafinha, also no Kane. It depends on who those 8 are. If you've got other important players covered like Son, Kulusevski, a Spurs defender, a Wolves defender, or keeper, then I would say no. I still think you stand to gain more if you free hit in 33, 36 or 37. Those are going to be decent double game weeks, so I would say no, not worth it. I would save the free hit. Yeah, I'd save it. I don't think it's worth it. We'll talk more about the double game week 33 shortly. Because there are potentially some good fixtures there. We'll know this weekend. Annoyingly, we don't know what the Game Week 33 fixtures will look like until after this weekend, because it's the FA Cup this weekend. But no, I'd say save the free hit. I'd say the same to everyone, actually. if you've got that many players that you're able to field. Joey says, Digne, Salah, Broja to Tierney, Kane, Maddison from -8 will give me 10 players. Thoughts? Your rank 7k, very good, or from 550 overall, Gameweek 26. Digne, Salah, Broja to Tierney, Kane, Maddison. I like it, but only if it lets you bring Salah back in 31. That's where you have to make sure you're covered. And if you're going to bring Salah back in 31, it can't be at the sacrifice of Kane. It's just not worth it. It's not worth taking a -8 for Kane, and then you sell Kane in 31, if that makes sense. So in my case, I'm bringing in Kane by dropping Salah, but it's going to be Son that makes way in 31 to get Salah back in. So that's where I think you can justify it, because I think Kane's the better pick than Son. So yeah, I don't mind the -8 to get you to 10 players. But yeah, as long as you can bring Salah back in without having to get rid of Kane, otherwise I wouldn't do it. Right, so yeah, I did want to talk briefly about double Gameweek 31 and Gameweek 33, so we'll briefly cover that. Double Gameweek 31, it's not the most eye-watering double Gameweek. It is just Burnley and Everton, so not really many options here, but you could consider someone like Weghorst from Burnley, maybe Gordon from Everton. It's not a good double for Burnley, but Burnley do double in 33 as well. So that's why you could consider someone like Weghorst. Are we going to fall into that trap again? I've already got him, so luckily I can't say I fell into it, but he did burn us last double game week. But what's a bit different here is that Burnley have Norwich in game week 32, and then they've got another double in 33, where they face West Ham and Southampton. Again, not a bad double game week, and these are must-win games for Burnley. You could also consider a defender, maybe Roberts. I think he dropped last night to 4.4 mil. So not bad. Brighton, it's a horrendous double. Leicester, this is why we're looking at players like Barnes, because they play now. Man United, they've got the Norwich game, which is a very, very good fixture. It's going to be a tricky one to navigate that, because you want to have a player like Bruno or Ronaldo for captain, but the second fixture is Liverpool, and it's away, so it's not a great fixture. So it's going to be a tricky one, that. Could be a free hit opportunity to bring in maybe Ronaldo and Bruno, and then you can get them back out in 34. And Newcastle as well, 2 home games, so maybe someone like St. Maximin could be an option. But the other teams that could double in 33 are Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City and Southampton. So 4 huge names here. And it's going to be dependent on the outcome of the FA Cup games, which are on this weekend. They are tomorrow and Sunday, I believe. So we'll know after the FA Cup games are done who doubles in 33. And something to be mindful of, because it could be any of these 4 here. Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. I mean, imagine another Liverpool double game week. It'd be massive. Man City as well. I think it'd be a perfect free hit opportunity if Man City get a double in 33. Just reading chat. Something about a Ramsdale injury. Are you joking? I hope not. And the other thing in 33 is that Aston Villa, Leeds and Wolves could all blank in 33, depending on the outcomes of the FA Cup. So if Liverpool or Chelsea or Man City win their FA Cup games, then they're through, and therefore these 3 teams blank in Game Week 33. So that's one other thing to be mindful of. What was the Ramsdale thing? Let's have a look. FPL Raptor. I mean, my backup keeper is Dubravka, so I'm literally without a keeper. Oh, that's terrible. What's FPL Raptor's username? Is there an underscore? Sorry, Ross. That's not him either. There's another FPL Raptor with 1 underscore, and his picture's something from Jurassic Park. That's not him either. Is it 2 underscores? All right, there he goes. What's he retweeted? Now whispers going around that Ramsdale didn't train today due to a knock he's carrying, not confirmed yet. I mean, it's going to be a rough game week 30. I'm not going to use the free hit regardless. I'm just going to have to ride this one out. But yeah, if Rafinha's out as well, I could be down to 8 players. If Ramsdale and Rafinha are out, we'll see. I mean, to be fair, it's from now Arsenal, and they've got, 61k followers, so you would think you wouldn't say something like that and put your reputation on the line. But they did caveat with it not confirmed yet, so we'll have to see. Jamie says Ramsdale or Sarr. Ignoring what we just talked about, I'd say Sarr anyway. In fact, let's have a quick look at the clean sheet odds for this game week. Obviously, there's only 4 games on this weekend, so it's slim pickings, but Tottenham are top with a 36% chance. Leicester 34%, Wolves 31.5%, Arsenal 29%. Rock bottom is West Ham, who face Tottenham this game week. Obviously, the Bowen injury is quite significant in terms of Tottenham's clean sheet prospects. But yeah, it's going to be a tough game for West Ham. Huge result for them last night, beating Sevilla in the Europa League to advance. Yarmolenko, as well of all players, scoring the crucial goal to put them through. He's just returned from compassionate leave, obviously because he's Ukrainian, and he's scored in 2 consecutive games now, so absolute C. What happened there? Oh, that's the wrong stream now. I think it crashed for a second, and then I went, what was that noise? And then I realised, oh no, now we've got duplicate focals. We're entering the matrix here. Hang on, bear with me. Are the other ones going to wave as well? Hang on, there we go. Clean sheet, there we go. Sorry about that. Stream crashed. And we're back. Focalception. Focal went meta. Yeah, I mean, I really hope there's no truth to that Ramsdale rumour. You know, if I was on a free hit, I would certainly have Ramsdale and Sarr. They'd be my 2 keepers. So, you know, if there's any truth to it, you're fine. But yeah, a bit annoying that, but it's good news for those that have the Ramsdale-Sarr double up anyway. Annoyingly, I considered it, but I went to Bravka as my backup keeper. We'll keep an eye out though in case for any last-minute news and whatnot. But yeah, hopefully there's no truth to that rumour. Tintin says, show a free hit. I did a free hit video actually early in the week, so if you've not seen that, definitely go give that a watch. I'm going to crack open a beer. Tamwizagi says, who would you sell Digne for? I would sell him for probably either a Spurs defender or an Arsenal defender. So you could consider Tierney, maybe Reguilon, Doherty, someone like that. Less keen on the Wolves defenders. If you don't have one at all, then I think you're fine to bring in a Wolves defender. But the problem is they're likely to blank in 33, as we were saying just now. These are the potential blanks in Gameweek 33, Aston Villa, Leeds and Wolves. And it's dependent on these teams that they would have faced winning their FA Cup game. And Wolves face Man City in Gameweek 33, so you'd imagine Man City progress. Who have Man City got in the FA Cup? I forget now. I mean, they're massive favourites. They got Southampton, that was it. So they're favourites to go through, obviously, which would result in a Leeds blank in 33. So that's why I'm not very bullish on the Wolves defenders. John says, is Tierney essential on a free hit? I would say he's not essential on a free hit. He's just a very good option, as is White or Gabriel. Max says, what about Schmeichel? Schmeichel's a good pick as well. He was obviously up there on the clean sheet odds, so I like the Schmeichel pick. I think Schmeichel, Ramsdale, Sarr, you really can't go wrong. They're probably all about on par. If there's any truth to the rumour that Rafinha's out, then I would say Sarr just edges it because he's going to be a huge miss for Leeds. Oh, I've poured this so badly. It's got so much head on it. Oh, why have I done that? What was I thinking? Look at the state of that. My beer is yellow flagged. Noel says Tony or Jimenez. I think Jimenez. Moshel says Barnes or Madison. Barnes. Aero says Amati or Fofana. I'd say neither. Unless you're on a free hit, then I think Amati probably starts, but I wouldn't bring either in. It's a Corona. Someone gifted me it. It comes with the glass as well, so I thought I would make use of it. I'm heading out tonight after the stream, so I thought I'd have a pre-drink on the stream, tie it in together, kill two birds with one stone. Hanno says weird looking Guinness. It is a weird looking Guinness. I went to Ireland a couple of months ago, and at the Guinness factory you can have your face like printed onto the foam on the pint. So I've got a photo of me on a pint. It's very weird actually, drinking a pint and looking at your own face. Any Leicester defender nailed on? Asked Varun. Nailed on. Probably Sionchu, but he missed last night's game of illness, so a little bit risky, but I'd say Sionchu is probably the safest. Right, if anyone's not on the fplfocal server, I'll pop a link in the chat. Go join the Discord. We're going to have a look at the Captain Poll results now. That's the link. Genuinely good FPL resource, the old Discord. We've got things like the price changes, we've got the lineups, we've got the live scores, we've got the live points, we've got bonus points, Gameweek stats, injury updates, and you can pick which alerts you want to receive, so you get the alerts on your phone. So if you want the price changes, for example, you just click that, and then boom, you get the price changes on your phone every night. But we are here to look at the Captain Poll results, which are as follows. I'll do my vote as well, so I'm going to go Kane. 429 votes for Kane. Dominates the poll this week, comfortably leading. Son is second with 99 votes. Might hit 100 after a few of your votes come in now. Third is Saka. Interesting. Fourth is Kulusevski. Beyond that, not many. A few people have gone for Barnes. 12 people have gone for other. I'd love to know who the others went for. But yeah, it looks like Kane is going to be the one this week. The most captained. Effective ownership could be pushing 100%. I imagine it will be in the top 10k. Josh says, who you captain? I'm going Kane, so I'm going to make my move on this stream. I do need to get that done actually, but I won't do it just yet. I'll keep an eye out for any last minute news and whatnot. Let's see if there's any news or leaks or anything else. Just reading that thread about Ramsdale. Wasn't in the training pictures. Apparently. No Ramsdale in Arsenal's training pictures, and there was that rumour that he was carrying a knock. Alright, detective mode. Is he there? I don't see him there. Smith Rowe, Lacazette in the background. Don't know who that is at the back. El Neni. Yeah, no, there's no Ramsdale here. That is worrying. Who was that? Oh, was that Leno? Yeah, okay. Oh, there they are. Yeah, I don't see Ramsdale. Slightly worrying that. I don't have a backup keeper, so yeah, I would be potentially down to 8 playing, but I think I'm just going to have to ride it out. I think it's going to be one of those game weeks where a lot of us are going to have a booked-in red arrow, unless you're on a free hit. Did I miss a donation there? Apologies. True Fandela says, Mo for Barnes, and I will of course buy Mo back for next game week, but I'll do that without a hit. Most likely for Barnes or Rafinha. Overall rank 500k, so no harm. I mean, it can still do harm though, because you're going to have to bring Salah back in, and it rules you out of any other moves unless you take a -4. So I don't think it's worth it. I don't think I'd sell Salah for Barnes. Like I was saying earlier, I think I'd only sell Salah if it was to bring in a real big hitter this game week, like Kane. Maybe Son, you can make the case for, but I wouldn't be selling Salah to bring in Barnes, to be honest with you. You know, it's Harvey Barnes. I'll say that now, he's going to go on and haul, but I don't think it's worth it. Did someone say something about media duties there? Mikey asked if there's any media duties for Ramsdale. Yeah, possibly. I mean, we saw before, remember there was those rumours that Van Dijk had COVID and Van Dijk wasn't spotted in training. And then someone found a video of Van Dijk and Konate doing like a commentary video together. You've probably seen them all before, where they commentate over a previous game. I think it was the Man United 5-0 game. And yeah, Van Dijk ended up starting in the end. Wishful thinking, but you never know. It could be something like that with Ramsdale. Rahul says your moves this week again, please. My moves are Salah and Broja to Barnes and Kane. So I'll make that move in a minute. Kingrave says it doesn't let me join the Discord, the password verification. I don't know about that. I think you have to verify your phone to join. We got hit by spam bots. We got targeted, so I had to take the security level up to max, which meant that you couldn't message in the server unless your phone was verified. Unless, I don't know if that's what you're saying, unless you forgot your password, but I think that's a you problem. MH says focal, Sar or Ramsdale? Sar. Gunplay or 7 Unplay says Rafinha out for Maddison. Maybe, yeah. The thing is, we don't know for certain if Rafinha's out. If we knew he was, I think you can justify the move. It's a little bit risky. We just don't know for sure. If you want to gamble on the rumours, then I would say go for it, but we just don't know for a fact. I was considering myself earlier, a -8, which would involve Rafinha out for Maddison, but I'm just going to leave it. Not a very nice beer. Stranger Man says, hi, just joined the stream. Who is best to pick from the Leicester defence? Yeah, we were just talking about Leicester defence. I'd say Soyuncu is the most nailed, but there's no particularly attractive picks there. Justin was an excellent pick. I think it was last season. But you can't really trust any of them for minutes at the moment. Soyuncu was missing from the Europa League, or Europa Conference League, last night with illness reportedly. So he supposedly is back. He would be the one I pick between them all, but yeah, they're not particularly exciting picks. But I think it'd be Soyuncu if I had to pick one. Regular says, can I have the Discord link again? Yeah, of course. I'll chuck it in the chat. Oh yes, Simon says tweet the Guinness photo. Yeah, if anyone's or tag me in a photo where you guys are watching this stream from, and I will retweet it. I'll try and dig up that photo of the Guinness as well. The thing is, people are going to be like, what are you on about? Why have you tweeted this? I don't know if I can find it here. No, I won't be able to find it while I'm live. No one wants to watch that. Ben Kelly says, Luke Thomas. Yeah, maybe. He probably starts, but again, they've got other players that can play there. Castagne's played there. Justin has played there. I don't know what Bertrand's status is, admittedly. So a little bit of a risky pick. Alvin says, are you captain in Raul? No, I'm not. I'm going to be bringing in Kane, and he'll be my captain. Yeah, that actually... that reminds me, I should probably make my moves and then tweet my team, because people hate it when I tweet my team too late. Asim says he's watching it from the toilet. Okay, well, if you're watching from the toilet, obviously don't take a photo of where you're watching from and tag me in it. That's the small print. Other than that, take a photo wherever you're watching the stream from around the world and tag me in it. I'd love to see where you guys are watching from, and I'll retweet it as well. Let's check what's going on Twitter. Oh, there's a few here. We've got Alex watching from Serbia. Retweet. Shabman's... That is cheeky. Come on, mate. He's chucked in to rate my team while tagging me in the photo. Outrageous. Barnes on Maddison. Take love from Bangladesh. Alright, I'll take the love from Bangladesh and I'll give you a Barnes. How about that? Angela's watching from Mauritius with the 2 pups. Love it. Cute dogs. Yeah, no Teddy for this stream. He's with the family. Because I'm going out straight after the stream finishes. I didn't have time to have him with me now and then take him to the family. So that's why there's no Teddies today. Not that anyone asked. Who asked? George says, is Rafinha out? There's a lot of rumours that he is, but I don't know if he is actually out. It's we've seen both sides to the tale today. So on the Leeds forums was where it started. Someone on the Leeds forum said that Rafinha's out, and I did a bit of digging on his profile, and he's not a much of an in the know, but he did post on the forums before last season that Casilla was going to start in goal for Leeds, and that was like 4 days before the game, and it hadn't been reported anywhere. And he is the one who said Rafinha's out, and then a couple of other people have also said Rafinha's out. But some Leeds Twitter accounts with a decent following were saying today that he's in the squad, so a bit of a weird one. The plot thickens, we'll have to see. Max says, on a free hit, Sarr Maddison or Schmeichel and Coutinho? I would go Sarr Maddison between the two, yeah. Schmeichel Coutinho, I like that duo, but I think Sarr Maddison edges it, particularly if there is any truth to the rumour that Rafinha's out. He'll be a huge, huge miss for Leeds tonight. And I like the Maddison pick. If I was on a free hit, I'd actually be doubled up with Maddison and Barnes. Hope that helps, Max. Appreciate that, mate. Nick Toll says, best forward for under 7.3 mil for Adams or Brozier. Hwang. No, definitely not Hwang. He is reportedly back from injury, but you know, whether he starts or not, we don't know. So I don't think I would go there. So best for under 7.3. It's really, really slim pickings. How much is Jimenez? 7.6. Really, your only option is Tony. I think Tony's your only option there. Not a bad pick. 5 goals in his last 2, but 3 of those were penalties. But yeah, I would say it would have to be Tony. There really is no one else. Reese is going Barnes and Tielemans. Interesting one, yeah. Tielemans flying on the radar. Not seen him talked about much. I think he's on penalties as well when Vardy's out. Could be a sleeper pick, but yeah, personally I would have Barnes and Maddison if I was picking between the Leicester midfielders. Arvin says Saiss or Johnny. I would go Johnny. Trias, Martinelli or Smith Rowe. Martinelli. Caroline says Captain Kulusevski or Lacazette. Let's have a look at the predicted points. I think that's a tight one, I have to say. Lacazette's on 4.5 predicted points. Kulusevski's actually not even up here. Perhaps his predicted minutes are still a little bit low. But for that reason, I would say Lacazette. He'd be my pick. Assuming you didn't have Son or Kane. Otherwise, I would go for those over either of those. Jacob says make your changes. Alright, let's do it. Right, so what am I doing? What was it? Salah out for Barnes. And Brozier out for Kane. So Salah to Barnes, Brozier to Kane, -4. Done. Refresh that. Reminder to everyone viewing this stream as well to make your transfers, make sure your bench is sorted in the right order. So that's me. I'm going to tweet this team now as well. What's my rank? 642. What was it? Salah to get the arrow. Salah to Barnes. Brozier to Kane. Kane captain. Enjoy the international break. Ball. I think that's it. Is there anything else for me to add here? Kane captain. Enjoy the break. I mean, I hope Rafinha's not out. I hope Ramsdale's not out. But I think I'll just leave it at that. Done. Keep your questions coming. We've got just under 10 minutes till the deadline. Appreciate everyone who has tuned in so far. We've got 2,101 watching. If you haven't enjoyed all the content I prepared for the stream, please do hit like on the stream. Let's get the stream to 500 likes. We're on 407 at the moment. If everyone hits it now, I reckon we hit 500 in 30 seconds flat. In fact, I've not even liked it. Alright, I've liked it. James says, have you used your free hit yet? If not, when? I used one back in Gameweek, I think 19. I had 8 players playing, so I had to use my free hit. My second one I've not used. So I'll probably use it in either 33, 36 or 37. Undecided yet. It would really depend on the FA Cup results this weekend. As we were saying earlier, there is a fair chance well, not fair. There is a chance of Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, any of these teams could get a double in 33. So particularly Man City, maybe Chelsea, if they get a double in 33, you could hop on to Triple City, which would be massive for double in 33. Arsenal, Southampton are very, very likely. I'd say 80% plus chance of getting a double in 33, because Southampton play Man City, and whoever gets knocked out of the FA Cup has capacity to double in 33. So assuming that Southampton lose to Man City, then Southampton have capacity, and that means the Arsenal drops in there as well. Oh, excuse me. Wash that down. FBL Phillips, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. He says same moves this week, Focal, so I'm backing you even more than usual. Appreciate that, mate. Well, hopefully we're both right. It made a lot of sense to me. So after the international break, if Salah's back, obviously I want him because he plays at home to Liverpool. So the plan, it would be to get rid of Son for Salah. So inadvertently, I've actually shifted Son on for Kane over the space of 2 weeks. And the other move would be Rafinha to Gordon. Of course, who doubles in 31 as well. So I'd have Gordon and Weghorst double him. So hopefully they can repay the -4. And then, yeah, I'd have Salah back. So I'd be in pretty good shape for Gameweek 31 onwards, presuming there's no injuries over the break. That is the thing. It's not good to book in hits. In a way, it's not even good to book in 2 transfers. It's good to leave your options open, because otherwise, if anything goes wrong, you're immediately taking a hit. Amir says, Tierney or cash? It'd be Tierney for me. Arsenal very likely to double in 33. Aston Villa very likely to blank in 33. So you gain 2 fixtures there over the next few game weeks. Selim, how you doing, mate? He says, would you captain Barnes instead of Kane this week as a punt? I don't think I would. No, that's a hell of a punt. I think that's a punt too far for me. I think Kane is genuinely the best option. Not just because he's going to be the most captain, but he's genuinely the best option in my opinion. Really enjoyed this stream so far. I appreciate everyone that has tuned in for it. I've got a couple of original videos ideas planned for over the international break, so I'll try and squeeze those in before I go away. I'm going away to Madeira with the family. Ronaldo's birthplace actually, so when I get off the plane I might have to let out a sue. Andrea says, why is Salah out? It's to accommodate Kane, and then Salah will come back in 31. Chris FPL says he's got 10 starters. He was going Barnes for Salah, and then Gameweek 31, Salah back in for Coutinho. Nah, I don't think it's worth it. We were talking about this a bit earlier, so I think you can only justify selling Salah if it's to bring in a real premium. Kane, maybe Son, you can make the case for, but Barnes, I don't think so. He played 98 minutes last night in the Europa Conference League. You know, what are you realistically expecting from Barnes? It's obviously within his remit to haul. He's hit double-digit points just twice this season. And you're booking in a transfer to get Salah straight back, so it's not worth it in my opinion. And you're actually in a good position with 10 starters compared to most. Matt says, would you take an extra hit to go Digne to Tierney? Digne to Tierney. I don't think I would do it. I think I would save that transfer. I don't think it's worth the extra hit. You're just banking on the clean sheet, so I don't think I would do it. I mean, I was in a similar situation. I was thinking about an extra hit to get rid of Rafinha, because there's these rumours that Rafinha's out for tonight's game. Don't know if that's true or not. Actually, I will have a quick check if we've had any leaks or whatnot. But yeah, I came to the conclusion it's not worth it. Not worth the extra hit. I'll take the -4 and I'll leave it at that. Nick Toll says, Adams to Tony or only play 10. Have Broyo already. No, I'd play 10. Southampton are almost certain to double in 33 as well. So if anything, you're going to want Adams. And I think you'd end up regretting that move after the international break's over. Alex says Maddison or Tony. Maddison. Jasper says it's gone. Martinelli or Kulusevski. Kulusevski. Kulusevski, he actually could end up a season keeper if he carries on getting minutes. 6.2, he's an absolute bargain. I think he might go up tonight. Yeah, he looks very likely to go up tonight, but he's an absolute bargain. 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 returns in his last 7 in 7 starts. Could be a season keeper. Great price point, getting minutes. Really, really good pick. I think they've criminally underpriced him. I think next season he'll end up being about 8 mil, and it'll be a much harder decision. YouTuber says Doherty or Cash first 11. Please help. Doherty or Cash. I think Doherty. Yeah, I mean Cash, he's absolutely flying, but it's Sumbo for performance recently, so I don't think it's anywhere near sustainable for Cash. So I would go Doherty. Omar says, what computer do you have? It's I built it myself actually. So when virtual reality headsets first came around, I properly bought into the hype, and I realised you need a proper good gaming PC for it. So I built a PC. So it's a bit of a custom build. Oh, did I miss your message, Jack? Apologies, mate. Let me scroll up. Where was it? He said, what site do you use to check out other FPL teams? Other FPL teams? Do you mean Plan FPL? That was this one. We used it earlier, planfpl.com. You can kind of like plan your moves in future game weeks. So for example, I could press forward and see how I look in Gameweek 32, for example. By the way, Gameweek 32 could be a problem. Liverpool face Man City and I'm tripled up. But I'll cross that bridge when we get there. I don't know if that's what you mean, Jack. Planfpl.com is a good one for planning your team and so on. Other FPL teams, I don't know. I've made my moves, Giga Chad. It's done. Kane captain, Jimenez vice. I suppose I could go Son vice, but at the back of my head there's always that worry. What if a game gets called off? I know there were some people that had Kane captain, Son vice when that Burnley game got called off earlier in the season. Roxbury says deadline is 60 seconds. JD says locked. Felix says Raf is out. I guess we'll find out in about half an hour. Claudio says Sar or Ramsdale to start. Sar. The baby says Jimenez or Son captain. I think Son. Ratchet says start Tierney or Cash. I think Tierney. Keanu says a -16 seems very logical. Does it? Didn't for me anyway. I've got 10 starting this game week, but it is totally dependent on Ramsdale and Rafinha playing. We'll have to see. Joker says locked. Thomas says locked. McSiri says Jimenez for a hat-trick. Imagine that. We'll be laughing. I will be gutted though, because he's my vice-captain, not my captain. Unless Kane and Jimenez get a hat-trick, but I think I'm dreaming there. Be good to go into the international break with a green arrow. I seem to often go into them with red arrows, but that's kind of been a trend recently. Adam, how you doing, mate? Good to see you in the chat. Anyway, I'm not going to stick around much longer. I really, really appreciate everyone who has tuned into this stream. If you did enjoy it, please do hit like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Enjoy the international break. I've got a couple of original video ideas planned that I'm going to try and work on over the international break, so you can look forward to those as well. But that's it from me. Enjoy the break, everyone. Enjoy the game week. Focal out.